Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing the overview of obvious fragrances. This is a very interesting house I'm excited to share with you guys. I've been enjoying all 7 of their scents and I'm going to share them with you guys. So if you'd like to know what I think about each of these fragrances, then keep watching. For transparency purposes, these were sent to me to review, and if you're interested in any of these fragrances, samples, or full-size bottles, I do have a discount code below. That is an affiliate link. As always, I will be honest and transparent with you guys in the very beginning of the video. And transparency is something that this house is actually really excited for. On top of just being generally an interesting house in regards to wanting to keep things clean, minimalistic, and simplistic, but still being very wearable and beautiful pieces, they also really focus on sustainability as well as just being very conscious to the impact that they make as a company. So, environment and recycling and using sustainable ingredients. Now, these fragrances retail for $140 for 3.4 ounces. And just generally, before we get into all of these fragrances, the scents and the pricing and the presentation, these all feel like if you were to kind of group them into what section of fragrance, designer, niche, luxury, these fit into the accessibly priced, easy to wear niche fragrances such as houses, Atelier Cologne, Nest, Clean Reserve, and also fragrances from Histories des Parfums. Fits into that category in regards to quality of fragrance, which is really, really good, wearability, and also price point. Now, I have been wearing these fragrances for the past few weeks, and I do very much have real opinions on them. I will say that all of them are very wearable and very enjoyable. And when it comes down to performance, they all perform very similarly. So at the very end of this video, I will kind of do a quick little kind of recap on just the general consensus of what their performance is in regards to longevity and projection. I'm not going to be going into super huge, long reviews of each of these fragrances, but I am going to give you guys the gist and tell you guys my overall thoughts. I do like these fragrances, but there's 2 that are very real winners for me personally based off of my preferences. The first one we're going to talk about is Un Poivre. This is a peppery scent. This is one of the most masculine fragrances of the line. All of these fragrances are unisex, but when it comes down to how it smells, it does smell like a more masculine leaning fragrance. It has vetiver, black pepper, pink pepper. There's also ginger in here. This is a very cool, fresh, spicy fragrance. And what I like about it is that ginger gives it a little bit more spice past the black pepper. It also adds a little bit of brightness to this fragrance as well. This fragrance I like a lot. I love black pepper, and you guys know how much I love pink pepper. And I like that there's ginger in this fragrance. And ginger's in a lot of these other fragrances too. And I think that's a note that's utilized not as much as it should be. I like ginger because it adds some spice, some zest, some brightness, rather than just what you normally see in compositions because it's really easy to use and a great versatile ingredient. Things like bergamot or citruses like lemon and grapefruit. It's nice to get something bright that has a little bit of zest and personality, and I think ginger does a good job. So this is a very peppery fragrance. It does kind of smell very spicy, fresh, and green. If you like peppery types of scents, you'll like this. This is also a great fragrance to layer. And if you guys know me, you know I love layering scents. And this is, I will talk about it a little bit later in this video, but excellent, excellent scent. Now, the one that I think has the most presence on the skin, the most complexity, but still is really beautiful, is Un Patchouli. Now, Un Patchouli is specifically, it's got Toulouse balsam, cedar, patchouli, sandalwood, and tonka bean in here. This is a very aromatic, woody fragrance. It's earthy, spicy green, slightly balsamic, and I like how it smells kind of like there's a bit of star anise in there, a little bit licoricey. The patchouli in here is very earthy and green, and it's also slightly sweet. Again, that kind of plays with this star anise, balsamic kind of feeling that this fragrance has. There's a lot of little nuances in this fragrance that the others don't have, and I don't think that the others have them because these are supposed to be more simplistic, minimalistic fragrances. And this one just has a little bit more going on for it. So if you like a little bit more edge, a little bit more oomph, a little bit more complexity in your fragrances, this one is really nice. I like it a lot. It is very balsamic, so if you don't like those balsamic kind of licoricey scents, I don't know if this will be the one for you, but I do think that the patchouli in here is really excellent, wearable, and also very sexy. Another fragrance that utilizes ginger in a really fantastic way is Musk. This one has ginger, bergamot, musk and vetiver in there. I like that this is green and fresh and citrusy and uplifting and slightly spicy. And again, the spicy you get from that ginger. And the ginger spice also has a tiny bit of fruitiness in there, but I like how this is mostly musky and green. Now this fragrance could easily have smelled like those other watery, aquatic, musky smells, but I like that it has a little bit of spice in it. I like how the spice is from the ginger, and that'll be a reoccurring thing you see throughout this video. I think it's smartly utilized in a way that makes this a great everyday scent that you could wear. It's unassuming, it's unoffensive, it's just really attractive and smells really nice on the skin. At the same time, it doesn't smell like every other fresh, musky fragrance on the market. And I do love those fragrances, but it's nice to smell something that's more on the minimalistic side that has a bright spiciness to it from ginger. I think it's really smart, and I think it plays really well with the other notes on the skin. This is my favorite fragrance out of all 7 of these guys. This is my scent of the day. I viciously love this fragrance. So this is Flirty Orange, and if you guys don't know, I love orange blossom and neroli and petitgrain. I love those. They work so well for where I live. They're just orange blossom and just white florals generally are just fantastic. I love the bitter like bite of the neroli in this scent. It's green and fresh and spicy. It's uplifting, and it just smells great. And I love how it smells very orange and slightly juicy too. The ginger in here, again with the ginger, I think is so smart because it's a perfect pairing with the citruses and the orange blossom. It uplifts you. So a lot of times when you hear about very popular neroli dominant fragrances, you've got that composition of that aquatic neroli, just say Tom Ford neroli Portofino. A lot of people fall in line with that composition, and it's beautiful and it's wearable, and I love it. But it's nice to smell something different in neroli. It's nice to smell something fresher and lighter and zestier, but still having that beautiful kind of bitter orange neroli and that kind of slightly crisp green fresh orange blossom. And this does it just so well in a very wearable way. This is a minimalistic, simplistic fragrance that has very smart choices made, which make it very wearable and very beautiful. And I love it viciously. The first thing I did when I smelled this is I kind of drowned myself in it, and I'm wearing it today, and I'll wear some more now. And it's just, it uplifts you, it picks you up. It's just, the ginger is so smart in this, and it just smells so good. No fragrance I thought I would like more for specific reasons, I like a lot for different reasons. So we have Un Rose. Now I was expecting some bright, semi-aquatic, crisp rose, but you know what I like about this rose right here? It's slightly spicy, and you know why? Pink pepper. Anyway, sorry. If you're familiar with my channel, you know that there's some combinations I just get so excited to see, and I love pink pepper in fragrances, and I am obsessed with pink pepper in rose scents. So this fragrance is a rose fragrance, but it doesn't smell like a rose fragrance. If you do not like rose, you might be able to wear this. And that's because I find this rose to be very delicate and shy and demure. It's a very timid rose, but it's a very beautiful rose. And what I like about it is it's fresh and bright and crisp, and it has that slight fruity spiciness from the pink pepper, but not so much to overpower the delicate nature of the other notes. So you have the rose, there's tangerine, there's grapefruit, and it just comes together to create something really beautiful. It's a very aromatic, slightly spicy, fruity rose that's not jammy. It's just really pleasant to wear. It's a great everyday floral fragrance. And if you like rose scents, but you're intimidated by jammy roses or really strong, bold patchouli roses, or you're just not a rose person, but you kind of want to see what all the hype's about, this is a great scent. I was expecting it to be spicier, a little bit more aromatic. That's why when I saw the pink pepper and the rose, I was really excited. But I find this to be a more delicate, very beautiful fragrance that has a lot of gorgeous just choices in it. Again, tangerine and grapefruit was fantastic. That comes together to create a really beautiful, great wearable floral fragrance. Now the last two I like, but not as much as the first five, and we'll get into that. But these are really great fragrances, and I find these to be more layering scents than kind of standalone fragrances. And even though I think Poivre is more of a layering fragrance, I like how substantial the pepper is in it, but I thought it was also kind of a little bit better standalone. So Unveni is their vanilla fragrance, and this is actually really nice. It smells really nice. The problem I have with it that makes me not like it as much is it's missing something in my opinion. Now, this is slightly resinous. This is like an ambery vanilla, and it's slightly powdery, it's sweet, it's bright, a little musky. But the vanilla, I feel like the vanilla needs to be more center stage. So the primary notes in this are tonka, vanilla, and musk. And I feel like if this had a little more musk in it, just to kind of maybe brighten it or liven it up, it would be better. It's still good. And if you like vanilla, but you don't like frosting, this is a great wearable fragrance, and I do like it, but I find it to be not as special as some of the other ones, but it still smells really good. If you want like a very easy to wear, nice, creamy, semi-powdery, uplifting vanilla fragrance, this is gonna be great. But for my personal preference, I would have hoped for a little something else, seeing how successful they were with the others. I do like wearing it. I do like blending it. Actually, this blends really well with the orange blossom. It just makes it a little bit sweeter, a little bit creamier. I do really like to blend this. However, I find it to be not as successful. So like, in my opinion, if I were to give all of these a grade, like Flirty Orange, and I really like the Patchouli, those are like A+. The other ones are like B+, A. This is more of kind of like a B-. Like, it's not a bad fragrance. It's a fantastic fragrance, but I'm judging this fragrance based on the other fragrances from this lineup. And so obviously there's going to be one or two that don't excite me as much as some of the others. And that's one of them. It is wearable. I do like it. I do think it's a fantastic vanilla. I feel like it could have been a little bit muskier. Something could have been a little bit more pronounced that would have made it stand out a little bit more, but it is a good scent. Now this next one, Un Bois, I can't say French, you guys know that. This is their woody aromatic fragrance, and I'm going to be judging this one specifically against Un Poivre. The reason why I'm doing that is this has black pepper in it, papyrus, cedar. There's also some bergamot in there. It's a fresh and spicy fragrance. It's a little bit peppery. It's their woody aromatic. This is the other fragrance that's like a little bit more definitively smells masculine. And if you guys know my channel, you know how much I love woody aromatic fragrances. And I like ones that are wearable, and I like challenging ones. And you could really just go wild with woody aromatic fragrances, and I would be really excited. And that's kind of like going back to my preferences. This fragrance is nice. It's woody, it's light, it's easy, it's an effervescent woody aromatic fragrance, and it's missing something, and that's the problem. I feel like this could have used pink pepper in it as well, or ginger. I think something else to add another layer on this fragrance. So a note that has nuances to it. So like pink pepper is spicy, but it's got that kind of like fruitiness to it. It's not a fruity note, but it has fruity nuances to pink pepper. And I know that because I use it in cooking. Same thing with ginger. Like I was saying before with ginger, ginger is like a spice, and it's aromatic and it's zesty, and it adds something else to it. It's different. And I've seen them do it successfully with the other fragrances. And I feel like Un Bois is a little too minimalistic. I feel like it needed something stronger, just a little bit a little bit more of a distinct wood, or the wood's a little bit more pronounced, or the vetiver is a little bit more pronounced. It just smells very one note, but not in a simplistic, minimalistic way, this feels like a rough draft. It's a good fragrance, and guess what this pairs beautifully with? That's right, un poivre. It needs it, and that's how I know the pink pepper and ginger, or one of them, is missing from it. These two together are amazing, and I feel like if it was just the pink pepper or the ginger in this fragrance, it would have been like out of the ballpark. I'm slowly learning fishing metaphors. I'm not good at them, but I feel like that was missing one of those key, distinctive, slightly nuanced notes to kind of hit it over the edge. It feels a little first draft for me. It's still a beautiful scent. It's a very wearable fragrance. People like woody aromatic scents, but they don't like some of the craziness that can happen in woody aromatic fragrances. It's a wonderful wearable scent, but it's the least cohesive out of all of them, because all of them, even the vanilla one, it smells very much like these are minimalistic fragrances, but a lot of thought and creativity went into the composition. And it just feels like Un Bois was not quite there. So those are the fragrances. Obviously my favorite is, Flirty Orange, a fantastic, unique, different, wearable fragrance. All of these scents are very easy to understand. I would describe these as, again, more mainstream, crowd-pleasing, niche fragrances. That's not a negative, that's just some niche fragrances are beyond bizarre and challenging, aren't safe to try, like even putting it on your skin, you don't know what kind of wild ride you're gonna go on. These are wonderfully easy to wear, very beautiful, very complimentary, attractive fragrances. So they are niche, they are more sustainably, they are very minded in the impact that they have on the world, which I think is fantastic. And also at the same time, they're wearable, and that's nice. So if you like fragrances from houses like Atelier Cologne, if you like fragrances from like Nest or Histories des Parfums or Clean Reserve, or any of those very easy to understand but still effortlessly beautiful niche houses, I think you're really gonna like Obvious Parfums. I think that they're really, really beautiful. So that's my general thoughts on these fragrances. I'm gonna quickly kind of let you guys know a bit about their longevity. There's not an issue with longevity, but I will kind of let you guys know what I think. First things first, these are not going to be beastly fragrances. Aside from Un Patchouli, this one is a crazy monster in regards to projection. These are going to be more moderately projected fragrances, and I've been using social distancing as an example. If somebody is social distancing from you, will they be able to smell you? Very little whiffs you'll be able to pick up about 6 feet away or social distancing away. This isn't the type of house where you're going to get beastly projection. So that's important to you. Just letting you guys know, when we get patchouli, that one does tend to have more of a projection and leaves a bit of that sexy little sillage trail that we all enjoy. But for the most part, when it comes down to longevity, I'm actually surprised by these. Aside from Un Bois, which I'm actually surprised doesn't have the best longevity, we're getting about 6 to 8 hours for these guys. And that's pretty spectacular, at least on my skin in my environment. And I think that's great because some of the fragrances like the rose or like the poivre or like the musk, I'd expect maybe 4 or 5 hours, but pretty decent. So that's really good. Un Bois is the one that performs a little bit lackluster, but it's still 4 to 6 hours, which for me is really, really good. All of these fragrances are also very linear. So if you feel like you need to reapply, you're not going to be going through some off-putting, awkward adolescent puberty that your fragrances have to go from dry down, from opening to dry down. Some fragrances need an hour to mature on your skin to smell like they're supposed to be. These pretty much smell the same from start to finish. So if you do like to reapply, these are definitely fragrances that will work really well. Now, even though we do have some fragrances that are slightly powdery, slightly spicy, peppery, and then we have like a white floral, I don't think that any of these fragrances would be inappropriate to wear in a professional setting either. either. There we go, I can say words. So I think that when it comes down to purchasing a very versatile fragrance, I think these fragrances you could wear casually. Some of them you could wear a little bit more formally. Maybe the vanilla, the pepper, or the patchouli I think would probably work a little bit better for that. But these are fragrances that you could easily wear to work or casually. So they make great additions to your wardrobe and fantastic layering fragrances. I think the best layering one is the Poif. But I also think the Unveni is really good too. So if you like to add fragrances to your collection, I can say words. I'm not proving that very much in this video. But if you like to add fragrances to your collection that can also be utilized in your blending and layering rotation, these two are excellent. But anyway, that is my video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you wanted to check out any of these fragrances, samples, or full-size bottles, I will link below. There is a discount code to save 15% off. That is an affiliate code. As always, I will let you guys know. But I generally do love these fragrances, have been wearing them, and enjoy them. So if you guys have had the opportunity to try any of these fragrances or any of them kind of speak to you and you want to check them out, let me know which those are in the comment section below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.